Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your support. I traveled home and I'm back safe, and I thank God for those who supported me on that. I also need to start this podcast on a very positive note by thanking Daktari Tu Kidaruma. Yeah, I'm so much thankful for the suit I'm putting on. It was a gift from a subscriber from Sudan. And he gave me this suit in appreciation of our podcast, and I'm just so grateful, Daktari, for that. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment Sabina Chege and Kanini Kege will realize that Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto do not harbor grudges with Uhuru Kenyatta, that is the moment they will realize that their goose is cooked. For quite some time, there are a lot of political developments in the country, and when you look at the budget statements, the office of the former president budget was actually set aside and reviewed upwards. It was a little bit improved compared to what was initially approved, and it actually shows you that what people think is not what is really behind closed doors. After Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega staged that coup at Jubilee Party, they did the meeting and went through procedures which, according to them, they believe were actually constitutional. And after Uhuru Kenyatta held the NDC, Political Parties Tribunal has given some 3 orders. And I want to explain for you what are these orders. Number 1, Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega have been stopped from holding any NDC until a petition that was filed by Uhuru Kenyatta faction is determined and has been stopped indefinitely. The second order, the tribunal has also stayed the orders from Registrar of Political Parties that ratified the letter that approved the ouster, or rather removal, of Kanini Kega as Secretary General of the party, David Murali as the Vice Chair, and also has squashed the decision to pick Sabina Chege as the Jubilee Party leader. Number 3 is that both parties have also been ordered to remain neutral and not to execute any role on behalf of the party. So this is something that has just emerged this evening, and it points out clearly, and I'm just glad that finally most of us were saying that on matters political parties, the internal dispute resolution mechanisms, and after which, if they're exhausted, then political parties' issues should not be taken to court before they go through the tribunal, the political parties tribunal. Now, the fact that now tribunal is coming up, is giving those orders, is a welcome call for the democracy in political parties, because for quite some times they've been abused. They've been abused because in the bold here, I analyzed some time back that Sabina Chege was replaced as minority whip by Mwenje and the Embakasi West MP. And when that process was going on, after the Azimio La Umoja coalition pulled out of it, it was actually said that they cannot. They went to some Kiambu court and procured some court order, which I still believe that court order was fake. And what's haunting is probably that. I also need to state the tribunal has also blocked any process of removing Jubilee from Azimio La Umoja coalition. So, of course, there have been outcry from even the civil society organizations and the well-wishers who are so much interested into the democracy of political parties on what would be looking at clearly mutilating political parties by using the executive powers. Because the truth of the matter here is Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega faction had been receiving lifting from the deep state. I told you that we really received some very disturbing information. They tried to access the Jubilee account. It was not there. They couldn't access it. They even tried to access the office. They were blocked. Also trying to push the landlord to evict the Jubilee team from that building. That also failed. So the goose is cooked, and I want to believe that the earlier the better. One of the few things why even that tribunal seems to be now coming over now to assert its authority is clearly for quite some time throughout this process since February, the Kanini Kega and Sabina Chege faction had been trying to project themselves as it is them who are now following the constitution, and any other person is not right except them. That has been their statement. But how a fake court order was procured, and I still believe it's fake. No one has seen it. Let me tell you. I want to say exclusively. I've tried myself to get some few people and try asking, where is that fake court? Well, where is that court order? It's some hot air court order. It is not there. And the minority side, no one has seen it. So the moment in which the political parties, if all along they're following the constitution, but why did they have to rush to court? I think that also might have irritated it. It might have irritated the tribunal about that decision. But then I want to be very objective in this and say that Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega, in my opinion, will be shocked, because the least that will happen is them removing Uhuru Kenyatta. What was actually perceived as an opportunity or a probability of removing Uhuru Kenyatta might actually turn on them, and they might end up themselves leaving the party. It is because of this. The president is struggling with the public trust. William Ruto is receiving a lot of backlash from the way he has forced things down people's throat. Just in the wake of just around this budget discussion that has been going on for the couple of weeks ago. So with this, it was clearly the breakthrough that Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega were actually getting. It was clearly that it was state interference with the political parties. And Azimio Umoja has changed the tact, and there seems not to be heading to the street, but they're heading to the courts. So when you go to the court, that's where there is the voice of reason. That is where the law now comes in. So he has realized that it doesn't make sense, and the public is saying, myself in the board have been saying, that you cannot take taxpayers' money, and allegedly you're supposed to serve as the chief whip, but you cannot do that work, and you want to diligently believe that you still need to hold that position. Even those who are saying they respect the democracy of political parties, they respect the strength of political parties, are a bit dishonest on that matter. Number two, I think there is something that why this is happening, why Sabina Chege's team is getting, the goose is getting cooked, is for quite so long, they believed Uhuru Kenyatta was such a lame duck, inconsequential, and not even influential. So they believed because he has left power, and William Ruto is the president, and everything now is going on, William Ruto is going to run the show, and Uhuru cannot. For what I'm seeing here, Uhuru is making his penetration in the system. And we human beings, everyone else is telling the Jubilee splinter faction that the most honorable thing is to leave the party. What you're trying has never succeeded. And it's true you support the government administration of the day. When these policies are being passed, everyone is getting the heat. Everyone is getting affected. So probably that also that aspect, Uhuru is getting his way and has penetrated the system, because that's one thing they believe. They actually believed that Uhuru is fanya kitu and Uhuru is not in it. So that assumption is what is consuming them. Number three, which is last, is For quite some time, I listened to some 2 weeks ago. I think that was 3 weeks. I listened to President William Ruto's interview, and he's been so cagey. Okay, trying to send mixed signals, but he's been so cagey on attacking the president. Now, if the force behind Kanini Kega and Sabina Chege was the force of those who were attacking, or targeting Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru Kenyatta, like the Kanini Kega, like the Rigathi faction, then people seems not to understand. William Ruto has realized he cannot continue to harbor grudges with former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. He cannot afford to continue harboring those grudges. Even after using a lot of statements to explain why they cannot pay, why they will not pay that, they will not pay the oil marketers their money. It has actually been budgeted for, and they're going to be paid. We were told the maize subsidy is not going to be paid because it went to people's pockets. But at the end of it, it is budgeted, and those suppliers are going to be paid. So what are we saying here? What I'm simply saying here is clear that Ruto touched down. Ruto team, Uhuru Kenyatta team thought, like Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega thought, by going after Uhuru Kenyatta, they're trying to appease, they are trying to please the president. But that is not it. So what will then happen here is, at the end of the day, it will not be about the forces around them. The fate of Sabina Chege depends entirely on Uhuru Kenyatta. It depends on Uhuru Kenyatta. And I want to believe, I think he's one of the person that was really shocked on maybe being part of that. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. And I still believe it will not be easy to remove Uhuru Kenyatta from power. Thank you, guys. As I finish, this Sunday on 26th, we are going to have an event, a children's home visit. Now, I'm reaching out to you. I'm going to share numbers of different, my coordination team that we're coordinating this event for. So I'm opening up for us. I'm calling on us, those who are around Nairobi in this country. If you have a cloth or some food stuff, of course, especially dry food, and you'll be willing to plug in this function, we just want to do some Thanksgiving visit for the far we've come, 50,000 subscribers and supporting others in politics. It has been such an amazing journey. So if you want to be part of this, you can be part of this. Kindly, you can share. If you look at the numbers here, one is you need to get the other one. The first one is for the Costa Kawira. Now, if you're within town and its environs, you want to deliver something, be it food stuff, you're looking at food stuff and maybe some few clothings here and there. So ngagano, rice, chele, something. You can talk to the Costa within town, and you will deliver in her office. She's our coordinator in that function. Then, if you are around Gong Road, you can also talk to Brenda. The number is there. Contact Brenda. You'll be in a position to organize on how you can receive it. And if you're on the other side of Mombasa Road, you can also reach out to me. Now, those who can support through finances, and you can support and say what exactly you want us to buy. If it is going into some unga or something, you will share with us. I've pinned my number there, plus 254 710 62 78 89. And I believe that on that Sunday, we are going to have it. Now, this is a snippet of my pre-visit in that children's home.
Watoto wangu Watoto wangu Watoto wangu hapa ni wapi?
Nairobi Clean Center.
Wapi?
Nairobi Clean Center.
Yes, so guys, hapa ni Nairobi Kings and Queens Center. I told you that this month I wanted us to do something different. Na ndio maana nimekuja hapa. Next week on Sunday, we'll be making a visit to these beautiful children here. Na niko na Kawira hapa, atakuwa naongea by the way. Kawira is, yeye ndiye atakuwa anafanya hii shughuli. So I want to say that this place is a children's home in a host hawa watoi, ni watoto wadogo, and we are reaching out to you in a special way that let's do something different, celebrating 1.5 years of political analysis, and also supporting the community, we decided we want to do something different. Na umeniambia huku kuna watu ambao ni wanahabari, lakini kabla hiyo, so guys, tunataka kusikia news anchors, and I need to say this, that in the bold we've always felt like we need to support others, and some of these things you cannot do alone. That is why when Kawira got to me and I said, why not? So she's going to be part of the Bold Charity Network as our coordinator and our admin. Yende tokwa na run this project, especially on this one's on supporting the children's home, because we want to grow with others. And you know that we've always supported others and grown with others. So mtamuona sana, hii sura itabidi uzoee hii sura sana.
Na hiyo sauti.
Yes, because she's going to be in charge of this project, especially on this one supporting children's home.